Hey guys, I'm Sarah, and today, as promised, we're showing how, with Aston on a ladder, we're going to set up a hydroponics in our, what was a refrigerated container. It's not refrigerated anymore. We have done a video before on how we did the container up from being a great big rust bucket to how it is now. Cut out a door on the side, everything. So I'll hand over to Clint, because he's the man with the electrical knowledge, to explain what's going on in there.
Okay, so I'm just setting up the wiring because we're going to put LED lights, UV lights in here. I'm going to put a heat pump in here, which I've made out of 3 dead heat pumps to make one good one. I haven't actually test run it, so hopefully it's going to work to keep it heated during winter when the lights are off. And to save power on cooling, I've put an extract fan in.
Okay, is that one we obtained from somewhere?
I got it for free out of a fire damaged building.
Oh, cool.
So, and it's going to be the same with that one there, I got for free.
Cool.
Out of a fire damaged building, and that's going to be our backup fan.
Oh, right.
So, I'm going to make a long tube that's going to shoot air, because we're only going to be doing just one little section at first, and we're going to see how well we do, because we've never done hydroponics before. Actually, to tell you the truth, I'm pretty tight. I wait until I get stuff for free or damn near cheap, so you know.
Yeah.
We do it as we can afford it, we don't get into debt for it, so.
Yeah. And you put that grill in there as well, didn't you?
Yep. So we're going to go blind with the hydroponic lights, so we can turn them off and turn these on when we come in.
Oh, okay.
So we don't go blind.
Sense. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Okay.
So, and the switch will be on the door, and I'm also going to have like a little warning light so you know that the LEDs are on and these are off.
Okay.
40 by 25 mil capping, it was $7 a length. I had a few short bits left over from other projects, which is why I went with this size, because it saved me a length. I need another 2 lengths.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to look nicer than the round stuff I was originally going to use. This is the original control box that came on the container. It's so seawater and stuff can't get in it. I've changed the perspex on it. I haven't put the time clock in, but there's going to be a time clock here, controller with the lights on, and we're going to get some outdoor waterproof switches, and that's going to be your lights on, off, and everything. And when it's all done, you'll have to paint it.
So that's the important thing, that it looks pretty.
Well, that's your thing, not mine. I'm more about functionality. So that's where we've got to so far. Eventually, when I get around to putting the heat pump back together, I'm going to have the wire sticking out here. I'm going to have a plug here and a isolator, and then here I'll have the actual high wall outdoor unit, and the pipes going up through here. Oh, here we go. This is what I made. That's going to be that's going to control my fan and show the actual temperature of the room. And that there is going to show whether or not the lights are switched on. And that's going to be for another couple of warning things as well, so we know if they're good or not. Or it looks pretty new, but you can actually see it's all second-hand on the inside. So I scavenge a lot of stuff out of bins and from building sites that end up in bins. So nothing here will quite look the same, but it's cheap. P for PowerPoint.
Some people have just not reached levels of maturity, love.
As you. Alright, might be able to get one more set of wires down there. I'm just going to use the 1.5. Oh no, I want 2 more sets of wires down there. Damn it, I'm going to have to drill another hole. I need to have constant airflow in here. I'm actually got 3 heat pumps that were broken, and I've made it to 1 good heat pump. But if there's, it's taken me a couple of years to get that far, and it's going to go across here. But we are susceptible to having power cuts that last for 2 or 3 days here. And if we're going to spend all this time and effort growing vegetables all year round, we want to, we've actually got a generator which we have for our freezers that we can also plug in to run these for a few hours a day just to keep them alive. But we're still going to have a fan going and circulating so we don't get mold and stuff on our vegetables. So I pulled this out of a rubbish bin from a demo site, and I've got this here, and it was just the right size to fit in there.
Cool.
And I was going to cut holes in here so it blows air out evenly across the space, which is going to be our first experimental space. But then I happened upon this.
You happened upon it.
I happened upon it, and it is a far superior fan, and I can actually, with a little speed pop, I can turn it up and down. So this came out of another demo place. I was just at the right place. I've tested it. It does work. So I'm going to put that, and if it doesn't work, I'll just put that on it. So I'm going to put that on this, and this is us setting up our little backup fan. And what we do is you'll see it. We attach a bit of Simple Fix around the pipe and put it on there, and then we do that up, and that pulls it nice and tight. But it will hold it to the wall. So this is a 150 mil pipe I grabbed, also elevated bin. I'm big into my recycling, you see. Honest, I'm off to save the planet.
Well, it's just amazing what people throw out.
I got this cap from Trade Depot for $7. There you go, that's the first cost. So now what we do is we paint this with copious amounts of glue. Right. Cut. Thank you. This one. Right. Swap sides this one. And this one here goes on that way, just like that. We just have to get a block of wood or something to hold those in. So now I have to just figure that out.
It feels like that last statement should be on a t-shirt or something. I have the tools, the methodology, the know-how and the craziness to do it.
I think if we put that there.
So those are anti-vibration mats.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Alright, so here we go. I've put a plug on it, and I've run a lead in here, and this type you can actually buy them at $130 if you ever have to replace it. One.
Doing something.
Oh yeah, I can feel it.
Oh yeah,
What do you reckon?
that's pretty good actually. It's not. I was imagining you were going to create like a draft.
I just want to
just move the air. Yeah, that's good.
Right, so I'm putting a Frankenstein heat pump together.
What's it made from? 3 different heat pumps?
Basically, yeah, one had a leak in the coil, one had a buggered fan, and one had a buggered board. So I took so they're all the same model, so I'm just combining pieces, and hopefully when I put it all back together, it's gonna work. So this here will actually be the primary air circulating fan, and the one that we built the other day is just as a backup for if there's a power cut.
Oh, okay, so this thing here won't be going all the time.
No.
Oh, that's good, because it's kind of noisy.
It's primarily just going to be this one.
Right, okay.
That's just so we can run it off the generator, because we won't be able to run the heat pump off the generator.
You have thought ahead.
Yes, I.
Gee, who'd have thunk?
Who would have think that I think?
Yeah.
Definitely no one that knows me. So there's already a hole for the refrigeration pipes that from the original container. I don't want to reseal things.
Yeah.
And I don't want to break things, so I'm trying to use the same holes wherever I can. See, there goes the hole I was aiming for.
That's not bad.
We actually found some pre-tapped holes which actually lined up almost perfectly with the feet on the AC unit. But unfortunately they're 5/16 or some strange imperial measurement, because I think this is an American container, but being in New Zealand we use both metric and imperial, but metric is just easier to come by, and I only have a metric tap set, so I'm going to re-tap them in metric 10mm. Just going to use some CRC as some cutting lube.
So, that is now a box with lots of wires in it. Don't ask me exactly what. Clint has been putting things in there since I last saw. Here's the man who knows what he's on about.
Alright, so because we're wanting to fill this up eventually, hopefully with and add on to it and grow lots of big fruit, veg and depend on it, I decided with the little generator that Sarah's got, because we do have week-long power cuts here,
Sometimes, yeah.
sometimes we didn't want everything to die, so I put a generator switch here, and we've got a power point here, so we can plug into a generator.
Yep.
And we can run the lights off the generator. It just means we'll just have to switch off the heat pump like that and switch it to generator, plug it in, and we should be able to run all this and all the lights off the generator. Or we'll turn it on there, we'll turn it on mains. Now this here, because the lights will actually generate a lot of heat, it's a lovely cold day today at 11 degrees here in Oxford, but I'm picking that the lights might actually get above 25 degrees. So at above 25 degrees, the extract fan will come on and start removing the hot air, replacing it with cold outside air in the middle of winter, without having, so we can keep it a constant.
Fancy.
And this here is a time clock. If you look in there at the moment, you see we've got one halogen light on, not halogen, one UV light on just as a test.
Yeah, it's not in position, but it's
not in position. So this is a 24-hour time clock, and what that will do is that there, so we can have it running for 12 hours a day, or whatever period in 15-minute increments. And when it gets to there, it will stop.
Yep.
It's just gone out.
It just went out.
So there's the time clock.
Oh, so it'll sort of replicate daylight hours.
Yeah. So it will replicate daylight hours. This here indicates that the power to the LED lights are on, but because you don't want to go blind when you go in there, I'll put a switch on so we can switch all the LEDs off, and 2 standard lights so we can actually work in there.
There's those switches there.
See? Turn that back on. We can turn the time clock. Boom. So we can turn the LEDs off, turn those lights on.
It's like a disco.
You'd like a disco. So this here is our emergency air circulator, which you saw us install before.
So that's the one that can be plugged into the generator.
Yep,
Is that right? Yeah.
That will have to be turned off for the generator to work, because the generator will not run that. But from 3 dead units, I've made one good one. And this should easily heat this entire area up. See the fans coming on, and this is also future proofing. And plus it's so handy having power cables to plug it around outside. You never know, I might want to have the
concrete mixer or
and so this is also future proofing. And you see I've done a roll of pipe here because you need at least 3 to 4 meters of pipe, or else you're going to have too much liquid coming back if it ever goes on to cooling. And potentially pop your compressor. Not that it's ever going to run on cooling, but I wonder if I needed it if I was running on heating. Maybe it's just force of habit, but there we go. So that's that isolator. I might cut these a little bit shorter, paint them.
Oh yeah, just so no one maims themselves.
And put some little plastic stubs on it, because I do have plans for this area. Right, so as soon as that hits 20.2, the little icon should come on there, and the little fan should come on out the back, and it should start blowing air out of the vent they'll put out the back.
Does that mean the heat pump's going to constantly be working if it's going to be expelling? This is me asking silly questions so others don't have to.
That's so if it gets too hot, we're not spending money cooling it down. So. Oh,
so it only does that if it goes over the temperature we need it.
Yeah.
Okay, but if it just. Because doesn't the aircon normally just like keep it at a standard temperature and then switch off?
Nope, because it's heating only. Because you put it on auto, it'll be running, stopping, starting, running.
Oh yeah, but like when it's heating, doesn't it heat it up to a certain temperature and then switch off?
Yeah, but the lights.
Oh, the lights will make it warmer.
The lights will potentially get it.
Okay, so yeah.
So that's.
Okay.
That's what that's all about.
That is 2 eyes, a nose and a mouth.
Yes, it is. I still actually have to put another vent there to stop air coming out.
Yeah,
so,
to make its eyes more even.
I might potentially get some chopping boards and cut them up and make them look nice and sweet. So we'll see. Next, wire strings and planting and drain.
And lights.
The answer is yes.
Oh, anyone would think we measured it.
Yeah. So I'll put some feet on that. I might just go and give them a quick spray with what's that stuff called? Gel spray. Because this might be a bit of a humid area, we don't want to rust.
Oh, right.
So, and then
it's not
we'll put the feet on, we'll tech screw it in, we'll run the cables, and then we'll do the other side as well.
Bit of excitement today, time to start planting. Now, I'm going to start these off like I often start things off for the garden, in like some seed raising mix, some potting mix, just in little pots. They are going to be transferred to water buckets because we're using something called I'm trying to think of it, not cranky method, Kransky. That's a type of sausage. Cranksky, something that sounds like that. But yeah, so they do get started off in dirt. You can just buy the seedlings and go straight on to the next step, but I'm planting straight from seed. I've got 3 different types of tomatoes. I've got some Moneymaker tomatoes, some beefsteak, the nice big ones, I love them, and some little sort of cocktail cherry type tomatoes. So I'm going to start off with 2 of each. We'll see how we go. The story so far is I've finally finished gunging up all the holes. I've still got to put the drain in. These lights, these little lights, even though they were a quarter of the cost of the proper grow lights from the grow shops, because I went to the grow shop and just to do this area here, which was going to be $2.5 grand. Remember I went to all the... Yeah.
So we went and bought all the cheaper But
we got these online somewhere, didn't we?
Yeah, they were.
Can't remember whereabouts exactly. It wasn't Temu, but
yeah.
it was a grow place online. So we got a few different ones.
Yeah.
Just to sort of do a bit of trial and error.
Yeah. But then online, going through the full light spectrums and everything, and that people are saying, oh, we used to use shop lights with the full grain spectrum, and so I bought this. Cost me $60 for this light, and it puts out, what's that, 6,000 watts or something like that, or lumens or something. I'm not. But it says it's full light spectrum, so when you're inside an office and you don't get outside, it feels like you're being outside.
Oh, okay.
So that's the whole point of it, and it's got different. So I've cranked up to the max light setting, and I want to see if this. Because apparently a lot of people swear that these work just as good as the grow lights, if not better.
Yeah.
And it's $60. So I figured, well, let's do it and we'll compare it. So we go.
And if it doesn't work, I'm sure it can be utilised elsewhere.
I bought 2 of them, and one of them's in my workshop.
Yeah.
And it's so much better than the lighting I had. So there's that. But the other big thing is that you'll see a sheet of paper pop up on the screen shortly. With these lights came a spacing for how far to put the minimum heights of your plants, and a lot of guys are there saying that you must have them at all times less than 150 mil, which is 8 inches, 6 inches away from the top of the plant. You've got to raise it and lower it. And there's other people saying, no, you can't, you've got to have it at least 18 inches, 2 feet away. That's like, who do you believe? And so we've got some guys who really look like they know what they're doing on YouTube, and they just totally contradict each other. So we're going off the instructions that came with these ones, and it said keep them down low and just let them grow towards the light, but just don't let them touch. Yeah. So that's what we're going to do. And
we're also thinking, because all these walls are quite reflective, yeah, the lights will just bounce off it, and so yeah, we're thinking it'll be, even though the light's further up, it'll be like it is.
Because we were looking at buying one of those home packages to put in here, remember, with the tent, and the tent head was completely made of reflective material inside.
Yeah. As you'll have seen, I've been growing the seedlings inside. Once they're of the right height, I'll show you the method that we've got in mind for exactly how we're going to be growing these. The only other thing we haven't done is put a drain in the floor. We have actually got the drain to put in there, but we were just missing a part, so that's been a bit delayed. But people have been asking how we're going with the hydroponics setup, so I thought I'd just do a quick update this week. Quinn's just going to flick the lights on so you can see them looking all pretty. So I'm not quite sure how that's on camera, but yeah, so we got to. So we have a variety of lights. So there'll be a bit of trial and error. Hit us up with any words of wisdom, which I'm sure many people will have, and we may or may not listen. And my main contribution is I need to paint that box and make it look pretty. Hit like, leave us a comment down below, hit the subscribe button. We'll keep you posted with our updates. We'll let you know when the tomatoes are going in. Oh yeah, we concreted round here because that was just turning into a major mud pit. Hi to the guy with the awesome beard we saw at Mitre 10 when we were collecting the concrete sacks. Alright, we'll catch you next week. Bye.